It looks like Diddy is telling Jay-Z, baby, we ain't lovers or friends, y'all. We have a scandal today. And it was actually dropped in Tony Buzbee's latest papers.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Lily M. Coley, and you are at Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. This is considered to be an innovative podcast to help empower you to be the best you can be in regard to certain topics. Today, I'm on here to talk about my legal story. I just saw a video on YouTube, which kind of made me cringe a little bit. It's so airy in terms of the same types of dynamics that me and my godson, Rymir is going through. So in a nutshell, we have a court case that we've been fighting for the last 10 to 12, 14 years regarding what we call allegations of fraud and fraud upon the court. Nonetheless, there was some stuff going on about it with the addresses and the jurisdiction and blah, 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 blah. Well, the video I'm about to show you in part talks about the same types of parties that were a part of it regarding the same kind of playbook as it looks, saying things that were somebody's property or not somebody's property, etc. In our case, we went through just the opposite. Somebody said it wasn't their property, but it was. And when the court don't follow out the due process, it can turn into a complete mess. But I'm grateful to see it seems like that this process may get the right kind of due process it's supposed to get so that justice will be served on whoever side it is. So at any rate, not to belabor you and go along with this, I just want to go right into the video to let you see. And it's dealing with the P. Diddy case, and the allegations of the 13-year-old. There was some discussion about the house that she said that the stuff happened at was not the house. So it looks like that information has been rebutted. So here we're going to go and look at that, and you're going to just go take away with whatever you can take away for the circumstance and situation, because we know everybody has their own views, which is fine. But at the end of the day, hopefully your view is the truth. You want that, right? We want to make sure that whatever we're viewing is the truth. All right, so let's just play a couple of the clips and see what's going on here regarding it.
We gotta talk. It looks like Diddy is telling Jay-Z, baby, we ain't lovers or friends, y'all. We have a scandal today. And it was actually dropped in Tony Buzbee's latest papers. I did a huge live about it. If you guys don't miss it, don't worry. I'm going to give y'all the quick version. But baby, I promise this is good. This isn't just any scandal. This is a billionaire brother backstab you, baby. We ain't friends, and we ain't friends. Woo! Listen.
So remember, this was the 13-year-old that said a certain house where the allegations of the rape took place. Now she's saying this young lady here, Tisa Tells, she's supposed to be, I think she's an attorney, but they said she's definitely an investigator, is saying that the allegations that Mr. Carter put out there regarding the house was not in existence. It's not true. The reason why this is important for me is because we are dealing with the same type of house stuff problems with our case. And it's just not good, everybody, because the stuff that we went through with the courts and not doing due process and so forth and so on, and same similar stuff led to a lien on my property. You heard me. So this is why I want to see as we watch this together and talk about it on the other side. So here we go, everybody.
Jay-Z has been in court running his mouth, barking at Tony Buzbee. You're charging, you're this, you're that. Well, guess what? Remember when he was swearing up and down? First of all, this couldn't even happen because the Jumbotron don't exist. The house doesn't exist. Remember how everybody on YouTube was like, the house doesn't exist, the house doesn't exist. And we were like, yo, that house exists. Well, guess what? Buzbee has gone into court and pulled out receipts to prove that what Jay-Z said in court was a big fat lie. Y'all, Jay is going down for this one. And here's the worst part. Well, good for us, but bad for Jay-Z. Diddy just sat there and let him do it. This is so bad for Jay-Z. We need to unpack this. Okay, let's get into this, right? Now, let's start from the beginning because this situation is messier than a love triangle from reality TV. I'm just saying. So as you guys know, Jay-Z is currently going to war with Tony Buzbee. Also, you guys, He is going to war with Tony Buzbee, but our sources have told us that is the least of his worries. In less than 10 business days, he will be rocked with something so horrendous. I don't know if he's ever going to recover. I did do a preview to what that was. That is my snap right there. If you guys are on Snapchat, make sure y'all follow me. I give exclusive previews of breaking content on my Snapchat, and I give other types of content too. So if you're on Snap, go ahead and give a follow. I promise you, you will not regret it, right? Well, and you know, he's been going to war with Tony Buzbee about this lawsuit. Now, the funny thing is, one of the key things in the lawsuit is the house. The house. Remember how they did a whole big press conference? This house doesn't exist. It never existed. There's nothing in 40 minutes. And they brought up a certain house, right? They bought up a certain house. And the certain house, they said, and this is the house that we first found. We're like, yo, we think this is the house. It matches this girl's description to a T. The only problem was property records were showing that Diddy didn't purchase that house until a year later. Well, guess what? The house that allegedly played a major role in certain, let's just say, questionable activities. Listen, the house that she claimed that she was taken to and gang raped by Diddy and Jay-Z, right? That house with mysterious celebrity B, after watching the VMAs on a Jumbotron. Well, y'all, listen, when the lawyer started pulling receipts, Jay-Z's team, and this is when they started dropping those things, Jay-Z's team, y'all remember, came out swinging, saying that house never existed. There's no record of Diddy owning it back then. It's all made up. They said this with their whole chest, like they were reading straight from the Bible. However, oh, baby, enter Tony Buzbee, who clearly has the powers of the FBI, the IRS, and Google combined, because he found the hidden property records that, by the way, we actually pulled up, but whatever, right? Also, investigation is investigation. He found the hidden property records, and guess what? Not only did the house exist, Diddy has actually owned it since 1998, and him and his companies owned it until 2023. Yeah, it's bad for Jay-Z. So now Jay-Z's out here looking foolish, because not only was this house real, but Jay-Z himself had been partying there for years. As a matter of fact, Buzbee goes on to say that Jay-Z actually had been partying at that mansion that he said didn't exist since 1998, and he was at that party. He was at a party in that mansion 2 months before the alleged rape, 2 months before the 2000 VMAs. Jay-Z not only knew about that mansion, but he was partying, and Diddy threw lots of parties there. And apparently Diddy would always brag about New York City to everybody in New York City about that mansion, and everybody knew. So that mansion that y'all told me Diddy bought in 2001, and I'm like, yeah, but property records are saying that he bought it before then. Guess what? It has been entered into a court of law that 100% does exist. So now, think about it. Jay-Z's out here looking foolish, because not only was this house real, but Jay-Z himself had been partying there for years. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he was front and center at Diddy's legendary parties, drinking, networking, woo, doing the electric slide. You're so tender, oh, even if you want, telling and not talk, it was over me. Yes, he was doing even the electric slide at the exact house he claimed never existed. Oh, can you make this make sense?
So I think this is a very interesting thing. And again, the reason why I'm playing it and doing it is because me and my godson and my goddaughter Wanda, particularly myself, went through the whole similar situation with my own property. There were liens, illegal liens put on my property by the state of New Jersey based on a fraudulent order from a court that we're dealing with now in district court, but the court's there. And the whole point is, this looks like to me the same playbook that was used on us for our case. The difference now is that you got a different type of attorney who's credible, but Tony Buzbee, and you have the courts doing due diligence. The difference with ours, it appears to me, in my opinion, and what I experienced from being there, it looked like it was hanky-panky or corruption. In other words, people were taking bribes or taking something, because why would you not want us to have due process? If somebody brings you property deeds and tax records and says, this is a person's property, they said they didn't have any, but they really do, and here it is, why would you not want to search it out? In our case, that was not done. So here we find the same party people, and particularly Mr. Carter or Jay-Z, who is saying or has said on record, according to this young lady, and she said she had court records, and I saw some court records last night, that and his attorney came out and said that the property wasn't owned by him, Diddy, and there never was this. Therefore, the 13-year-old girl that made the allegations, who's now 38, is not telling the truth. That's why I'm playing this, everybody. This is an aha moment. This doesn't look good for nobody, but at the end of the day, it looks like to me the same playbook. It looks like to me that the courts are very different in certain places depending on what judge you get. So I'm here to say, what do you think? Does this look like the same thing? I mean, it's not exact, but does it look like the same playbook where somebody's saying the property ain't mine, the property ain't mine? That's the same thing we had. We had someone saying the property wasn't there, attorneys, clients, etc. And here we are, and then I get a legal lien. You obtain your order by fraud. You say if the property is not yours, there's no due process. The court allows you to go and do what you do. You get money from an illegal lien when I sold my house in 2023, and that's okay? No, it's not. So tell me what you think, everybody. I needed to get on here because I'm telling you this, when I saw it, I'm like, are you kidding me? The same thing? So properties, if you didn't know, it's public records. And therefore, people cannot just hide it and do what they want. It appears that in this case with Diddy, he had his property under a estate name. And sometimes you don't put it under the address, but if you keep digging, everything has what they call a paper trail. So there's transactions that have to take place with property exchanging and moving around, blah, blah, blah. That's just the way it is. And you can't get around it. It's not a secret. So it appears that attorney Tony Buzbee, and thank God for him, we're going to keep praying for him, found it and was able to see when Diddy actually began owning the property. And then as it looks, that he sold the property in 2023, which is another transaction. So what the young lady said in that house about the description of the house appears to be true, everybody. I never thought it was not true. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because nobody's gonna go this far and wait till you get to this point and think nobody's gonna check now. I mean, come on now. Come on. So at the end of the day, I'm just thankful that that the justice is being served and that people are being accountable. That's what I'm thankful for. And I'm on here because when I saw it, it made me grieve. It did. Because here I am going through all this with my godson in the court, got to go to district court to get them to void a vacant order, an order that was obtained by fraud, allegedly, so that we can get our real due process in the process and move on with the circumstance. Now, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's too eerie or too similar to what's going on now for me not to say anything. I mean, you cannot make this up. So tell me what you think in the chat, everybody. It appears to me that we got the same playbook, different day, and all of it happens with that. I'm so glad that the truth always comes to the top. You just got to keep on believing, and keep on believing. And the truth, as my mama always said, will get you there. And the law is designed to work if you follow it. That's what you used to tell us. Follow it, she said. So we're going to follow the law where it takes us. And we see that the law is taking us to the truth. And we see that some people's playbooks don't change regarding attorneys and clients. Nonetheless, if it's wrong and it's inappropriate, it has to be fixed. Now, I'm not saying that Tisha tells, saying everything and knows everything. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is I understand her to be an investigator. She might even be an attorney. But whatever she is, she's gotten some information from the court documents about what was said regarding the property. And Attorney Buzbee debunked it and proved otherwise. All this talk about stuff that doesn't even exist and is not true. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. This is Dr. Lily and Coley signing out to say on Keeping It Real with Dr. Lil. Be encouraged. Now, the last thing I wanted to do before I left was I did want to show you the liens on my property. Here's one of them here. Just so you'll know, here's a lien that was placed on my property. The first two, there's two there. And there's other people involved. And then there's another one right under it. You see that? So these liens were placed illegally on my property based on somebody saying that they don't have property. Same type of playbook, but the judges, instead of the judges looking at the information like they're supposed to, they did not. And I was able, unfortunately, to have liens on my property that I didn't know about. When they popped up during the sale, these persons were able to get illegal money for illegal liens. How about that, everybody? So that's in part why we're in court, the district court in Camden. And so at the end of the day, it is what it is. But thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Be encouraged, everybody. And this is Dr. Lily M. Coley saying, keep it real with Dr. Lil. Thank you.